Hello there, you're with Star Television Network on Channel 21, and this is the National News Bulletin file for the hour with me, Sienna Wright. First, the headlines. Campaign for Good Governance, Action Aid Sierra Leone and partners has held a one-day accountability dialogue session on Saturday, 29th June 2019.
Because I do really implement on this EU-funded project where Action Aid lead on, where we get an accountability session where they bring the council, CSO and communities together for can engage.
Following recent developments in the international oil market, the Petroleum Regulatory Agency, the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Trade and Industry, including the oil market companies, have jointly reviewed the pump price of petroleum products to reflect the recent movement in the Platts and foreign exchange rates.
Price of oil and Leone's strength against the US dollars are the two primary factors influencing the oil price in Sierra Leone.
The Freetown City Council, together with the European Union, has launched a sustainable waste management through local micro-enterprises development on the 26th of June 2019.
The rules of engagement will also look at how we can look at existing laws to make it friendly and adaptable and helpful to also those micro-enterprises and businesses that are going to take up the waste collection.
Sierra Leone Roads Authority dishes out 1.7 billion loans to over 130 projects to affected persons in Bo and Kenema cities.
We not pay the market value. This is because we don't inconvenience tuna. So we compensate tuna.
Creating opportunity for disadvantaged persons have organized an inter-secondary school debate and article writing competition at the Council of Churches, Sierra Leone.
So we thought it fits that bringing these kids on board by following the international theme, which says listen first, and we point our local theme, catch them when they are young, bringing them together to bring up possible recommendations and solutions on how to end substance abuse is the best way we can be able to eradicate or reduce this in this country.
All this, including sports, will be part of the bulletin. It's now time for the news in detail with me, Sienna Wright. Campaign for Good Governance, Action Aid Sierra Leone and partners has held a one-day accountability dialogue session with community representatives, citizens and civil society and local authorities on issues around the development and council accountability on Saturday, 29th June 2019 at the Western Area Rural District Council Hall, Waterloo. Francis Hortin reports.
Giving an overview of the event, Programs Manager Campaign for Good Governance, Ibrahim Sise, said the development session is to bridge the gap between the local authorities and the community's representatives to understand some developmental plan for the community and how they will work together to improve their economic livelihood. He further stated that the Campaign for Good Governance and partner are working on a 3-year project in building its relationship with the community stakeholders and the civil society organization who will aid the local government in implementing developmental policies in relation to women, girls, people with disability, and the mandate of the local authorities in their respective wards.
Yes, this now an activity we see the champion at the Western area because I do really implement on this EU-funded project where Action Aid lead on, where we get an accountability session where they bring the council, CSO and communities together for can engage. A platform for engagement for them can discuss in terms of the day-to-day activities of the council, in terms of how they do the development plan, how then they roll them out, and also in terms of how the council will be able to account to citizens generally in terms of what they don't do for over the past 5 to 6 months.
Speaking to Gustavus Rena from the Citizen Developmental and Progressive Organization, he stated that they have learned and understood what their local authorities should do on their behalf. Another participant for the KAGBO, the district coordinator for the National Disability Coalition, urged the local authority to prioritize the people living with disability in their plan.
A lot from this session, because this session teach me how we as the community activists and community member we role where we play in the policy making of council. And I tell we say council not just for make policy, but we do not consult with. We need to be part of that policy making because now we get for benefit either negatively or positively.
Well, what you learn about the initiative be good because the way you put in government, they're supposed to give you reports because we're supposed to know how government they operate in the first place because as we are people with disability, we're supposed to get what we deserve to get. As we the Act say, the Disability Act say disability we are people with special care. Then this forum today will attend and talk about your side way and say education, free medical, although problem then at the medical side because waiting we supposed for receive freely, we're not able to get to that yet.
Reporting for Star News, I'm Francis D.W. Hudson.
Following recent developments in the international oil market, the Petroleum Regulatory Agency, the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Trade and Industry, including the oil marketing companies, have jointly reviewed the pump price of petroleum products to reflect the recent movement in the Platt and foreign exchange rates. Here is the story.
Following the recent development in the international on-the-market petroleum product, the Petroleum Regulatory Agency, the Ministry of Finance, Trade Ministry and Oil Marketing Company have jointly reviewed the pump price of petroleum product to reflect the recent movement in the Platt and foreign exchange rate. While reading out the press statement, the Executive Chairman, Petroleum Regulatory Agency, Dr. Brahma M. Balowa Kuruma said, over the last couple of weeks, they as agency have locked up with discussion regarding fuel price in the country. He stated that while the government was engaging for fairness to all parties, the oil marketing companies are posing national laws.
While the government was engaging for fairness to all parties, our oil marketing companies were also posting national losses. However, oil prices, like any other commodity price, are determined by certain factors. The price of oil and leu strength against the US dollars are the two primary factors influencing the oil price in Sierra Leone. Both factors are risk to the landed cost. The leu depreciated slightly on average against the US dollars by 4.2% during the period under review. The price of crude oil and refined product significantly increased during this period by 19.9% on average. This led to a 20.7% increase in the landed cost of our petroleum products. As the price of crude oil is not in our hands, there is no mystery about falling or rising gas price.
The spokesperson for the oil marketing companies, Kobe Walker, revealed that the oil marketing company has no power to increase the prices of petroleum products in the country.
Deciding over businesses that were losing huge amounts of shareholders' money, but the actual reason has nothing to do with governments or the OMC. It has everything to do with two items that we cannot control. We are not an oil-producing country, so we rely on oil-producing countries to sell products to us. We are challenged in terms of our foreign currency earnings. So both factors created huge challenges for us in the sector.
The new price of petroleum products following pump price increase are as follows. Petrol from 7,000 leons to 8,500 leons per litre. Diesel from 7,500 leons to 8,500 leons per litre. Kerosene from 7,600 leons to 8,500 leons per litre. Fuel oil from 6,500 leons to 7,500 leons per litre. It could be recorded a representative of the oil marketing companies met with the president, Julius Maada Bio, at State House and informed him about some of the potential challenges they are facing in the industry. For Star News in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
The Freetown City Council, together with the European Union, has launched the Sustainable Waste Management through Local Micro-Enterprises Development on the 26th of June 2019. Moses Ojukamara reports.
The European Union, as part of their tradition, granted the Freetown City Council with the sum of 3.2 billion loans in support of the Sustainable Waste Management goal. The representative from the European Union, Matt Ligi-Fleet, in his statement noted that the project reflects the EU global approach to empowering local authorities to enhance governance and more effective development outcomes.
This is what attracts more people very quickly. If services don't keep up, this can be something very difficult to live in. That's why we want to support dynamics in cities where we see that we have already dynamics in place, which is the case with Freetown. And this is the reason why we chose to sponsor them for this project that we have designed, and which is, as Madam Mayor said, part of a system they're building up in order to improve and make waste collection more rational, and hence to improve lives of people who live in Freetown and for all those who move in daily into Freetown.
He said that waste management is a global issue, adding that as a union, they do not want for archaeologists to come to our country and find out that the city was built on top of garbages, as according to him, is not hygienic. The project coordinator, Aruna Mans-Davies, while giving an overview of the project, said that Council has been working with 100% of youth, adding that the primary motive for launching this initiative is to see the municipality clean and creating jobs for more youth to keep a database of how garbages are disposed.
The rules of engagement, we also looked at how we can look at existing laws to make it friendly and adaptable and helpful to also those micro-enterprises and businesses that are going to take up the waste collection in Freetown. Let me hasten to say, since the commencement of this project, we have been able to make some great progress in achieving the set goals of this project.
According to the mayor, Yvonne Akisoya, she said that the launch of the project is to support the initiative of a clean city, adding that what they are doing is about building and strengthening systems that can stand the test of time.
And if you don't collect the waste, you don't have people available or infrastructure available to collect the waste, then you're going to have residents dump the waste. So it's very important. But before today, and as today is going on, something very significant is happening in Freetown City Council, and that is the recording, the registration of every single waste service provider, so that we have a clear picture. And you've seen, just now next door, you saw the map, which is building up real time as people register, whether you collect with a basket on your head, whether you have an omolanke, a push cart, a tricycle, a truck, 4 tires, 6 tires, 8 tires, 10 tires, doesn't matter. We're collecting all of that information and we're mapping it, you saw the map, by ward. So the donation made by the EU will not be a scattergun approach in terms of how we allocate. It's not going to be, oh, I like this person may not come.
Adding that waste collectors should try and register their businesses and endeavor to be with their stickers and certificates at all times, as the Metro Police will be robust if anyone is found wanting. For Star News here in Freetown, I am Moses Ojukamara reporting.
Sierra Leone Roads Authority dishes out 1.7 billion loans to over 130 projects to affected persons in Bo and Kenema cities.
The government of Sierra Leone, through the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, SLRA, has dished out the sum of 1,700,000,000 leones to 130 project-affected persons, otherwise known as property owners in Bo and Kenema cities respectively. Chief Engineer Samuel Emmanuel Lewis is the project manager. He explains the purpose of the meeting at a ceremony held at the Bo District Auditorium, Falaba Session in Bo City.
General and the colleagues here, we come for apologize again because yesterday I was supposed to come, but because of one or two reasons, we not be able to come. But today we there, I say it is better late than never. Also, we don't come now for the payment proper. Just like how my colleagues here all don't say, we not pay the market value. This is because we don't inconvenient now. So we compensate to now. So whatever person you get for appreciator. Government gets in right of way. We really nobody not supposed to encroach it. Normally, makeshift structures there will not pay for them. Any structure when a makeshift structure, then a structure where they go put wood-side fencing. Those are makeshift structures. We don't pay for their structures they need. Today, we don't come for campaign. The engineer did not identify who are the owners of the structures and they way be along the right of way. The contractor don't demolish already. Because when I say Kisita Road done, Galu Road done, Jero Road said the drainage don't pass. And when once they don't pass, therefore don't broke the structures and we want the carriageway. So whatever we don't touch the structure now in the campaign. And I want to tell one about again say certain structures and for instance like fences where the contractor don't do, we not pay for them because the contractor don't do already. We not pay when you pay that means say na duplication. So as long as the contractor don't do one, even if na the host the contractor don't come up with the block work, we not pay for them. Other instructor who broke where we never give nothing, now we can't pay now. So again, I tell them I thank you and the tender reach out.
Thank you very much.
So when it starts, we will wait for the mayor for car welcoming, or we don't wait say in a road. We will start, we will see car welcoming, not waste our time again.
The Public Relations Officer, SLRA, Sori Ibrahim Kanu, dilates on the overall objective of the ongoing road rehabilitation project.
We are here to effect payment of compensation to property owners on the rehabilitation of streets in Bo, the phase 2, the rehabilitation of 23-kilometer roads in Bo, Kenema, Makini, and the township of Maboroka in the phase 2. In the phase 2 of this exercise, we are starting in Bo and Kenema, and in Bo we have 3 streets, Galu Road, we have Nigerian Road, and we have Kisitown Road.
You're still with the National News Bulletin file on Star Television Network on Channel 21, and Creating Opportunity for Disadvantaged Persons has organized an inter-secondary school debate and article writing competition at the Council of Churches Sierra Leone Conference Hall on the theme Catch Them When They're Young, aimed at raising the awareness on drug abuse among school-going children. Hassanatu Bokari has the detail.
Creating Opportunity for Disadvantaged Person, CODAP, has organized an inter-secondary school debate and article writing competition at the Council of Churches Sierra Leone CCSL Conference Hall on the theme Catch Them When They Are Young, aimed at raising the awareness on drug abuse among school-going children. According to scholarly surveys, majority of the world's inhabitants who are addicted to the misuse of drugs don't consistently do well in schools. It's obvious that smokers who are still schooling tends to get lower grades and more likely to drop out of school, becoming a burden to family and to the country as a whole, which CODAP is working at to change the mindset of people in the society. The CEO and founder of CODAP, Sahid Bangura, explains the reason why he organized this event and some of the success stories in nurturing some of these children that are drug addicts. He explains in this interview.
CODAP is an organization that raises awareness on substance abuse, especially to schoolgoers and community youth, because the way we see substance abuse is coming in this country is at the increase. So CODAP thought it fit that it is our responsibility to bring children and youth together to bring possible solutions on how to end substance abuse in the country, because the way we see how the issue of social instability, the issue of mental health issues is becoming rampage in the country. You can see young people walking in the streets of Freetown with such symptoms of disorders like hallucination, depression, and many more. So we thought it fit that bringing these kids on board by following the international theme, which says listen first, and we coined our local theme, catch them when they are young, bringing them together to bring up possible recommendations and solutions on how to end substance abuse is the best way we can be able to eradicate or reduce this in this country. Well, I just want to tell parents to pay keen attention to their kids. Let parents stop asking their children cheap questions. Example, I quote in our local dialect, the why you dey make so you don't begin smoke, eh? No, parents should abort that. Parents should pay attention to their children. There are certain behavior that your child is putting on. It is your responsibility as a parent to look critically at that child and find solution for the kid.
Mr. Marcus Bangura, on his keynote address, expressed how honored he feels to deliver a talk on the topic, catch them when they are young, noting that it's an interesting factor that revolves around young children, as it is a beginning to invest in them so as to capacitate them in the future. He further highlighted on the importance of education as a key factor in the development and growth of young people.
There is a need for all of us to put all hands on deck and to redouble our efforts to combat the menace in our society. By deviant behavior, I mean a kind of behavior that deviates from the generally accepted ways of life, such as incessant indiscipline, violence, eating, drug and substance abuse or addiction, prostitution, cheating at examinations, lying, violence, teenage pregnancy, early marriage, drunkenness, and alcoholism, among others. These bad practices are common among teenagers, making them vulnerable to retrogression as against progression. The violent behavior is caused by many factors, and prominent among them are urbanization, peer group pressure, broken homes, inherited violence, and mass or social media.
Star News in Freetown, I am Asnato Mabokai reporting.
And now to round up the news sports. So let's join our sports correspondent, Hilton John, for what's happening in the sporting world.
Thanks to you, Sienna, we start to the local scene. The former Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Football Association, who served as education officer and also Deputy Secretary to Christopher Kamara, has resigned. According to Algaman Soare, he resigned for a personal reason. Here is the report. The former Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Football Association, Algaman Soare, a lecturer at the Anthem West African Football College, and also served as the educational officer of the Football Association, has tendered his resignation to the Secretariat. It could be recalled that Algaman Soare was part of the executive of the former president of the Football Association, Nahim Kadi, before the inception of Madam Aisha Yuantin in 2014. Algaman Soare was part of Confederation of African Football Disciplinary Committee, where he served as a member for 3 years. According to Algaman Soare, why he resigned as Assistant Secretary General of the Sierra Leone Football Association and Educational Officer, He said just because of personal reason. He thanked the secretary and staff for their commitment and cooperation they rendered during his tenure in the office. He wished the current executive of the Football Association best of luck, and also to the sporting family. For Star TV Sports in Freetown, I am Elton John reporting. So let's see whether we'll be getting another appointment from the Football Association, who will step into the shoe of Argaman Soare as education officer or thinking about assistant secretary. In the ongoing Sierra Leone Premier League, FC Callon Football Club will be coming up against Eastern Tigers on Wednesday at the Circus Stevens Stadium. According to the chief executive officer of the team, Mohamed Callon, he said despite the results of the team against Eastern Lions, they'll continue in the battlefield to see whether they win the championship. In the international scene, AC Milan has faced a one-year ban from the world governing body to UEFA after the breach financial challenges. Here is the report. AC Milan have struck a deal with UEFA to serve a one-year ban from European football over breaches of financial fair play rules. The club, which finished fifth in Italian Serie A, will miss next season's European League. UEFA will end its proceedings against the Italian for overspending, said the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS. AC Milan is excluded from UEFA club competitions of the season 2019-2020, said CAS. Milan's ban means AC Roma, who came sixth in the standings, move up to the European League group stage, while their place in the qualifying rounds is taken by seventh-place Torino. 7 times European champions, Milan finished 1 point behind local rivals Inter Milan, who took the final Champions League qualifying space. AC Milan confirmed their voluntary acceptance of the ban and said they hope it will act as a stimulus to take them back to the top. AC Milan previously successfully appealed against a 2-year ban imposed by UEFA last summer after being found guilty of breaking spending rules between 2015 and 2017. Under UEFA regulations, any club making losses beyond their permitted limits over a 3-year period faces possible sanctions and, in some circumstances, a ban. Milan were able to take part in last season's European League, going out in the group stage after appealing to CAS. For Star Sports in Freetown, I am Milton John reporting. Unfortunately for AC Milan, face a ban 1 year from UEFA, and there is investigation still going on the side called Man City Football Club. Remember, they won the Premier League in England, despite they were knocked out in the semi-finals of the Champions League. That's all for sports.
Well, that's all we have for you here in our National News Bulletin 5 for the hour on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Sienna Wright. Thanks for watching and do stay with us.